what's crazy, and this is something I just don't understand. Up until June 1st this year, you could use an SBA 7A loan to restructure a merchant cash advance. The SBA's mission is to help small business owners, right? But I don't know why. There's new laws that just came out, and the SBA has said that nope, you can no longer use an SBA loan to restructure a merchant cash advance.
Oh,
which makes absolutely no sense to me. I've actually helped people in the past
do that,
and that was my preferred method of helping them, because this way they don't actually default on the debt or anything. They just get approved for a better loan with legitimate terms and rates, pay that off, and then move on. But now they have no choice except to either default on their own, which everything goes to hell if they do that, get an attorney to back them up on the default, basically negotiate a settlement, right? Which is like a debt restructure or debt consolidation, you could say, right? But in the business realm, or file bankruptcy. So, and I mean, I'm talking to people who are on the phone crying with me, Denzel, telling me that they because they're good people and they want to make payroll, they want to pay their employees, they want to, and they're like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I'm in this situation. I was on the phone with a lady the other day, that she has 2 facilities in New York that care for children. Like, it's like facilities where she works with the government to care for at-risk youth. She houses them, feeds them, clothes them. It's not a foster home, but it's like a facility for to treat or help these kids become independent and to launch them into life. And she made the mistake and did that, and she's probably going to have to end up closing her facilities down, which means that all these people are going to be homeless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, my heart's breaking when I'm talking to these people. And so I found a solution through attorney firms that negotiate these settlements, but unfortunately the only way to do that is you default. As soon as you default, they start attacking you.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming, right?
And it's embarrassing. Your reputation goes
and it's
down.
Embarrassing. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's
really
bad.
One mistake.
It's really bad.
And here's the thing, to your earlier point about the factor rate, with a traditional loan, if you pay it off sooner, you pay less interest. But with some of these agreements, it doesn't matter how early or how on time you pay it, you're still going to pay that same amount for the most part.
In most cases, if you have, because even though it's not personally guaranteed, they still do consider your credit. So that's where you might get a better rate offer. And maybe instead of 1.45, get 1.25 or 1.3, but we're still talking 25%, 30% interest. So
it's like a very, very high interest rate credit card that's charging you the full 30% rate in the first month.
Yep.
Because for those, so like those who are listening who have credit cards, if you have a 29.99 interest rate, sure, it's a high rate, but it's divided by 12.
Correct.
If you pay 29% over a year versus 45%, 35% in 90 days, right? Or let me ask you this, if it's 1.45 factor rate over 12 months, does the number grow or is it still 45%?
Yeah, it's still 45%.
It's still 45%.
That's why they typically don't go that long. But what they'll do is they'll go for 6 months or 8 months, and then they'll renew you on a new one.
On a new advance.
Or they'll offer you more halfway through, and then, you just get stuck in that trap. And listen, there's a time and a place for this, okay? A couple years back,
talk about that.
I had a client who he had already invested about $13 million in a hotel in Miami. He was down to the last month of construction. He needed $1 million to finish construction. The hotel was already generating revenue, so he was able to get approved for $1 million cash advance. They gave him a 3-month term with an early payoff incentive. He paid it off in about a month, 30 days. And in that example, he had bad credit. He had no other alternative. He was already that deep into the project. It was just a matter of, even though it was that expensive, his ROI and the timeline for him to recover from that within 2 to 3 months, he's going to bounce back. But most business owners are not dealing with that
That
type
don't
of
they don't need that. Yeah.